What's up? This is part two of the series. Whereas, I was gonna give all my old funny stories, but uh, I'm not able to do that. I'm sorry. What I got to do is I got to come out here with my Kool Aid. I still got the Kool Aid mustache. Yeah, I do. I got to come out here and make my rows for my garden because if I don't do it, I won't have it done. I got to see what seeds I got. Man, I got a piss poor selection. I got a real piss poor selection. I'm still counting on those ones supposed to be being mailed by a friend of mine. Some are spilling out. We don't know what those are. Yeah, we do. Those are peppers. Man, we love some peppers. Not sure how much pepper yield we're gonna get. Well, some of these aren't so bad. I love tomatoes. A lot of tomatoes. That's great. And let's not forget, my point of view. Oh, I do got some corn. Thank God. Fucking, I love corn. I love you, corn. Oh, and there's a few more corns in there than I care to admit. Thank you, Jesus. So I could say my heart was broken, and this I got pushed back in this activity because of the loss of unity that was going on with my friendship. Because we had all intended to do the garden, but the reason why I came out here, as you can see, is it's a clear plot of ground. I didn't get any choice for them. I don't have any complaints from Hugo. I'm not. I don't really have any. Well, I think it's the unity of the two that confuses the fuck out of me as far as what may happen or not. Because simply, I mean, if I had believed it would have been okay to put together the chicken coop that was sent and been on my porch that my friend bought with her money, I would have put my baby chickens in that, and I would have had the option. But nobody ever said that that was something they wanted to do. I could do it or any such thing, and also was run out of food. So it's like I'm a bad babysitter, though, right? Right. I would think a good babysitter commander would have let me know the first time I showed him that fucking cage that, hey, why don't you put that coop together? And would have done that because I told him I've been putting the babies out there. I didn't get a fucking. What I got for an answer in regards to that was she took her chickens with her and didn't say a fucking word. So well, I'm gonna put a little bad babysitter back on that motherfucker because that'd have been the thing to do instead of being silent. But look, people don't know how to communicate that have their boyfriend communicate to guy, even though you are actually friends longer. That's true too. So I'm really at a loss, and I was almost devastatedly fucked up by it, and just said fuck this. But I can't do that. That's not where I'm at. So I'm gonna make my rows, and I'm gonna rock and roll. That's all I know to do. That's all the fuck I know to do. I'm gonna put these seeds in it. I'm gonna take a picture so I know where each one is. Man, who gives a fuck? Just water them and have them grow. When you find out, you'll know. Fine, fine. So what? A couple rows. I'll put in my seeds, and then I'll recontinue that part of the video where I done it. You can see it now. Let them have some of that action of seeing you start. I do got to thank my friends for this new fucking selfie stick thing they took to the Grand Canyon that they give to me because man, does it stand up good? Does it grab the phone great? The other ones, I've had the other one before. It's not as good. I still appreciate everything that I got. I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want to get it twisted. I still am open to the miracle of people healing from but I'll never fail to lose my shit when somebody starts talking to me like I'm a fucking animal or a kid or somebody that doesn't deserve any respect. I'm gonna lash out to that like a motherfucker. I'm sorry because I wasn't raised to fucking treat people that way. Now, I don't know. I never had my friend treat me like that, so I'm not too sure if that's just something I'm fucking up and should have just took the shit talking or not. You know, it was kind of like a fucked up sort of. I found out it wasn't too strongly of a belief, but it's like your chickens would be dead. Your chickens are dead. You know, it strikes me as a little not intelligent, and I don't know what to do with that. I thought this person was smarter, and now I'm in complete hostile mode towards them because of the way they talk to me. I didn't expect it. I've heard them talk to other people and shit like that. I know that it's in them, but I already got open to the Jesus. I'm just going to shut myself up right there. I know I'm mid conversation and all, but I'm going to take over in the corner and just rock and roll like that. I got such a good feeling from coming out here and just doing that. I felt like I picked up my blessing from doing all that, and I needed it. I made my row of corn. I made it all corn. I put 2 rows in, and I put all the seeds. I had many seeds of corn because that will feed me the greatest. I will continue to make rows each day. That's just the way it's got to be. That's just the way it's got to be. I haven't beat my dance with nicotine. I didn't do it. But when I went out there and I gathered up my stuff and I got on my hands and knees and did that dirt, I felt like I came back into that field of blessing at the base of the pyramid too, with the 2 cubes that I got out there because I'm using that technology, that whole motherfucking pyramid. And when I was out there, I was listening to Terrence Howard on a show with these guys, which is up here, and that's why it's going to stay right there because I'm going to tell you what I heard that I also know is truth. He was explaining how P. Diddy wanted some music and some acting lessons from him. Now, P. Diddy was sitting there and just looking at him when he'd come over. P. Diddy wanted that ass. Now, the way he translated that was to say you could lose your man card. He said that you make 15,000 sperms every heartbeat. And some of his information is fucking brilliantly on the level. They tried to make him be a fool for trying to say the math like he did when he came out there. But I listened to what he said about um, the periodic table and the who's that fucking guy that writes the book about light? He nailed it though. He nailed it. He's working on a paradigm that's more accurate. Although you may not understand it, it's legit. And he said all those guys that went and did that, they lost their man card, and that they're going to regret it, and that they may not have understood from that point of view. And you know what? Why I was out there making those rows was because I still got my man card. Maybe my life's a bit of shambles. Maybe I'm upset about the past, but I ain't lost my man card yet. Maybe my ex-wife would fucking say differently. It ain't because she fucked me in the ass. It ain't that. And in fact, I kept my man card. That's how I know I'm here and I'm free. Because at any time, I'm sure you could lose it another way. And he explained it as such. He said, anytime you're too afraid and bitch out somehow, or something happens that where you just you lose it and it don't come back. You don't get it back. You come into this world as a man once. That's the whole reason why I transfer in that ritual to the son. Because to become a man once, you're gonna be born a boy. But to get that extra push from the spirit, your dad needed to push you. And there's a lot of dads that aren't around. And there's a lot of dads that wouldn't push you. They wouldn't know how to do it because they lost their man card along the way. That don't mean the dads that do want to make that connection lost their man card. Don't mean it still doesn't have to connect. So in my case, and I do take it from Christ, that path is available to reconnect to everyone else, just like the blood of Christ covers and saves the world. Maybe you don't understand that, maybe not. Now maybe that connection is in the new earth and not is available here. I think it's available in both. But it's important that there was something in my life that made that open, made that fucking option available to even share it like that to those that lost it because I didn't have it. I took it back by force though. They say the kingdom of heaven is taken by force, and I've always wondered what in the fuck are they actually meaning by that. But I understand it now because I took my blessing back by force, and just by the grace of God did I pray and ask my dad to help me on the other side. That he came through and he connected the dots because I got him to bless me. Grab that motherfucker by his thigh like they do in the Old Testament, and I'm like, "You gonna bless me now?" And he did. But that blessing had no power while he thought I was in league with the devil, and I couldn't get that fucking cleared on my own my whole life to save my life because we didn't have that time. There's a gap. But just like that gap is crossed by Christ and not me, Christ gives me the opportunity in him to cross that gap with the other boy and the wisdom to know the covering to say I'm doing this for my sons too. So when I'm out there in the garden and I'm doing that and I have the spirit of my dad and I got all my orgone stuff, then it's not so bad now that I don't have a job and I don't have my stuff because I'm still taking care of the land. I mow the grass. I might not have spent that $10 and invested in doing that, but I did it because I do it for my home. My buddy's not going to fucking take it upon himself to want to do those things. They're not his responsibility. They fall on me. And I don't try to get him to do anything about it other than enjoy the fucking yard when it's freshly mowed. And it's a task to do, especially in the upcoming season. And I'm on shaky ground because I ain't got no fucking job. I don't. I ain't got no fucking way. But the only thing I've rested in since I've been here, and I put my authority hat on that, is that the land has sufficient care for me back that I may not get from my friends. I may not get from my roommate. I may not get from another soul on this world. But that ground that I had made holy by doing whatever I did, which I did, was holy when I came back in there. And I put in all the corn I fucking had, and that's my hope. I eat a lot of that corn. I eat that corn. Number two is gonna be fucking tomatoes. I might be late, I might be late. But if I get one corn and have seed, that's my indicator, baby. And I bet your ass I get some corn. I bet that ass. Now I'm gonna have to keep them damn deers out of there from eating it. But it's a lot easier out back than it is up front. That's just the facts. Because they don't go through the back as much. It's not along their path. But I'll still probably end up fencing it before it's over with. And now I'm so low, as I said. So take that what you may. I love all my friends. I try to keep my heart right to keep my other disenfranchised members of my partnership to come back in. I'm just gonna have to be me on that because I can't be talked to like a bitch because I still got my man card, and I feel like that's exactly what I feel like you're talking to with that shit. I feel like you think I lost my man card? No, no, don't look at my life and think that you can figure that shit out because maybe you get an idea. That ain't the one. I'm not. Still very much a man as it's gonna get, and there it is. So I planted that shit today.